Today I will share how I make delicious, healthier version of authentic Tom Yum called Tom Yum Nam Sai, which means clear broth Tom Yum soup without the paste or any creams. I'm using prawn for the main protein, so you may as well call this Tom Yum Goong. These are the ingredients you need. For more details, check the link in the description below. The key to make authentic prawn tom yum is making the broth from using fresh prawns. I'm using fresh prawn that the head are still firmly attached. Separate the head from the body by cutting them with scissors, but don't throw out the head as we're going to make the broth out of this head. Put this aside in a separate bowl. I'm gonna cut this long strand of prawn mustache. I just don't want this to get in the soup. For the body, peel the skin off. I'm starting from the tail, followed by the top part. The skin and tail will be our natural flavoring too, apart from the heads. So I'm keeping it together with the head. And then I'm going to devein the prawn. Slightly cut the spine. When you see the black thing here, that's the thing you want to remove. Gently pull it out and wash it under the water. Now you will need to clean this part too, where the leg were. How I clean is, I will make a slight cut right under the vein and cut it outward, so I can pull the vein out gently. Now I have the peeled prawn and the skin and heads. Let's start cooking. I'm using a medium-sized pot. Turn the heat to the medium and pour the olive oil in. And then I will roughly smash the garlic before I add them into the pot. This will help to intensify the garlic flavor in our broth. Give it a stir, and now pour the prawn skin and heads in. Give another stir until it releases the juice from the head. That might take approximately 5 minutes. Add the water to the pot. We want to boil the sauteed prawns under high heat, so leave it to boil for around 5 minutes. You will see soft bubbles on the surface when it sits on boiling for a couple of minutes. That is fat from the prawn head. Now fish out the skin and heads and you can throw them out. And try to leave the garlic in the broth as much as you can. Now we have the prawn broth ready. It's time to bring in the herbal ingredients. I'm adding sliced onion and then kaffir leaves. Roughly tear the leaves to release the aroma to the broth. Add sliced galangal and bruised lemongrass. I have bird's eye chili that I toasted in oven for 5 minutes under 200 Celsius. Now I'm cutting the chili with a pair of scissors. To control the level of spiciness, you can cut a few chili first and cut more if you prefer more spicy. Add palm sugar and natural red boat fish sauce for seasoning. Leave it to boil for 5 minutes, letting the herbs blend into our broth. Add the tomato in. I add this after the herbals sit to boil to avoid overcooking them. And then the oyster mushroom. If it's too big, you can tear them into smaller parts before adding them into the soup. And the prawn in. Give it another stir and boil them for around 3 to 5 more minutes, or until the prawn turns orange. Turn off the heat and pour the lime juice into the soup. You don't want to cook the lime juice because it tends to get bitter in high heat. Now it's ready to serve. Garnish with coriander and enjoy with your choice of grain. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more recipe like this. Let me know if you tried the recipe in the comment below, and I'll see you next time.